hit a brick wall when trying to share your faith? You're talking, but the other person is checked out, and you feel frustrated. When we assume people are being stubborn, we start treating them like opponents. That mindset leads to arguments instead of productive conversations. The Bible uses specific descriptions for those outside of Christ. These help us understand a person's spiritual reality, replacing our frustration with compassion. Today, we are going to build a compassionate gospel engagement plan. We are going to design a strategy tailored for one specific person in your life. Grab a pen and a piece of paper. At the top, write down the name of the person you want to reach. Translating your intentions into a written document is crucial. It moves you from emotional reactions to a deliberate, grace-dependent strategy. With the name at the top of the page, step 1 is to identify their spiritual condition. Take a look at this matrix. The Bible uses 14 descriptions for humanity outside of Christ, terms like lost, dead in sin, and blind. Review this list and select the 1 or 2 conditions that best describe your subject, writing them down. This step shifts your focus from outward behavior to spiritual confusion. You are acknowledging that they lack the capacity to find their own way back to God. This is where many conversations fail. If you identify someone as spiritually blind or dead, you cannot expect them to understand spiritual truth on their own. Dead people cannot revive themselves. An accurate diagnosis prevents misplaced frustration. It reminds you that this engagement depends on God's intervention rather than your own persuasiveness. Step 2. Write the word humility prominently underneath the diagnosis. We need this reminder because believers are justified by grace, not by superior morality. We were once enemies of God ourselves. When you face opposition, do not treat the other person as the enemy. Satan is the enemy. This person is his captive. You cannot cure spiritual blindness by winning an argument, nor can you free a captive by displaying moral superiority. True humility disarms self-righteousness. It changes the interaction from a debate to a rescue mission. For step 3, write out specific action steps that match the condition you identified. This replaces bad habits with targeted responses. For example, if you wrote blind, your primary action is to pray for open eyes rather than relying on logic alone. If you chose slaves of sin, present Christ as the true liberator. Focus on the hope of the gospel instead of demanding moral reform. If you selected lost, seek them out patiently. A lost sheep cannot navigate its own way back. The shepherd must go to the sheep. While we aim for compassion, do not water down the truth to be perceived as nice. We must remain truthful about God's justice. Preach that justice in connection to the love displayed of the cross. Matching your response to the biblical condition ensures your plan is truthful and deeply loving. Step 4 is the final audit. Measure your written plan against the standard of Jesus' earthly ministry. Ask yourself, does my plan minimize their sin? Does it treat them as a hopeless case? If either is true, adjust your approach. Jesus addressed sin while focusing on the spiritual condition beneath the behavior. He wept over cities, touched lepers, and died for his enemies. Check your plan against these 7 attitudes: compassion, humility, patience, urgency, hope, prayer, and love. This requires you to depend on the Holy Spirit to give life, rather than trusting in your own ability to persuade others. Submitting your strategy to this model ensures your approach reflects the heart of Christ. Look at the paper in front of you. You have moved from a vague idea of sharing faith to a tactical engagement plan. Use this document immediately. Let it guide your prayers for this person today and shape your priorities when you speak with them. In the 19th century, the preacher Charles Spurgeon captured the gravity of this work. He observed that if people must perish, let them do so having heard the gospel from lips that pleaded with them and hearts that truly loved them. Spurgeon preached to thousands in massive spaces like this, but he knew that effective evangelism requires intimate compassion. Take your written plan, step out in confidence, engage the lost with the compassionate spirit of Christ.